Prabhuji is also HOD of Bhakti Vedanta Hospital. I personally had his association when I was there with my mother. So, and also Prabhuji and Mataji both are doing counseling also. They do counseling for premarital, after marital. They do a lot of counseling as well. Also, Mataji and Prabhuji are involved in dramas and festivals for Chowpatty Temple, as Prabhuji was talking yesterday, right? Lot of dramas. If you don't like to watch movie, you want to watch dramas, which we should all do. We can watch dramas. It's like movie only. Kids also enjoy when we start watching the dramas back to back, right? So let's welcome Prabhuji and Mataji, by chanting Hari Bol loudly 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! I think Mataji is on phone, so. Manisha, Mataji ko bolo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Pitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
लाइव नहीं आ रहा है।
मोबाइल देना आपका, आप इधर आ जाइए। मैं तो मोबाइल कर दिया।
So welcome dear friends, dear devotees for our satsang. Krishna consciousness, which we are all designed to pursue in our life, is an extremely powerful and scientific process. It is a moment where it teaches us how to live in this world. So, there are 2 parts to Krishna consciousness. One is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. What is called as the Tattva Gnyan. That means what is the philosophical basis on which the entire movement is based. Right? And there are some essentials of the philosophy. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Anyone agrees here?
Yes.
You agree? Or there's some debate? No, you don't agree. Right? And that Jivatma is an eternal amsha, Mameva amsho jivaloke jivabuddha sanatana. the jiva, that is you and me, and every living being, is a part and parcel of Krishna. Right? Krishna is a complete whole, and we are the amsha of Krishna. Number 3, there is an eternal relationship between the jiva and Krishna, which is lost because of his coming to the material world. But that can again, and that should be, it is imperative that it gets re-established, which is possible only in the human form of life. And the way to re-establish a relationship in a most perfect manner is through the process of bhakti. Now, all the processes which are there in the Bhagavad Gita, the most powerful way of establishing the strong relation with Krishna is through bhakti. Yoginam api sarvesham madhatena taratmana shraddhavam bhajate yomam simtatamo yamataha. Right? So all the yogis, bhakti yogi, karma yogi, jnana yogi, hatha yogi, right, raja yogi, of all the yogis, Krishna is singling out that the person who is most united between yoga strongly is a person who is performing bhakti yoga. So this third part of our philosophy. And the fourth of the philosophy is that the practical means to achieve Krishna through bhakti is by chanting Hare Krishna. So the Yuga Dharma is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. And to get this knowledge into our life, we need to take shelter of knowledge given by Krishna through the holy association of the scriptures and the devotees. Right? The scriptures are especially Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So these are the 5 tattvas of our philosophy. Krishna is Godhead, we are his amsha, third is bhakti, the process, fourth chanting is the actual practical way, and the fifth is the holy scriptures and the holy devotees. This is called as the basic philosophy. Philosophy is very extensive. There are so many hundreds of books written by the Goswamis, by Prabhupada, by the Acharyas. There is so much, literally, it can fill up libraries, right? In fact, there's a big library in Kolkata. It's called the Bhaktivedanta Research Center, which has got all the books of the Acharyas. It is a whole building of books. It's a whole building of books. But I'm just singling out the 5 essential tenets. We won't be talking about this 5 today. We'll be talking about the second part of our movement, which is called as one is the tattva, other is the lifestyle in Krishna consciousness. There is a philosophy and there is a lifestyle. Because that is something, philosophy is something which is discussed oftentimes in classes, and I believe that all of us are sufficiently exposed to that through Bhagavatam classes, Gita classes, and other Bhakti Viksha classes which are being conducted in the temple from time to time. What we need to discuss today with some little more additional focus is how to live a beautiful lifestyle in line with Krishna's desire, in a way that we can maximize our human potential to achieve the ultimate goal of our life. Right? We all have a potential, right? But if we know how to lead a lifestyle in a perfect way, right? If we have proper guidance on that, we can maximize, because in one sense, we do not know how much time we have, right? It would be better if it would have been known. I was giving an example of Khatamang Maharaj, right? Khatamang Maharaj was asked by demigods after the battle was won, you can take whatever vardhan you want, it will be yours. His first question was, how much time do I have? Right? If someone can tell you that, that will be wonderful. But somehow, there is no way of knowing that. But whatever time we have, how to maximize and utilize this very rare human birth. Human birth, you must see rare human beings, not human beings there. 8 billion human beings, it's not rare. But when we consider the species of life, how many bacteria are there, how many viruses are there, how many birds are there, how many reptiles are there, how many trees are there, because all those species, the human species becomes very small, as compared to all the other species of life. 84 lakhs yoni, right? So we are very, very small species. So how to maximize that? So we need to have a proper lifestyle. Okay, so that is the importance of, it is called as a Vaishnava Paddhati. Vaishnava Paddhati, Vaishnava lifestyle. So we see that even Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, led a very beautiful lifestyle, right? As Dwarakadhish Krishna, he would get up at a fixed time in the morning, almost around 4 o'clock. And then he would worship the cows, worship the fire, worship the demigods, because they were part of his pastime. Basically, he was slaves or devotees. Then he would sit in dhyan. You would see various auspicious objects around. So he had a very beautiful whole. Then he would go to his court, come back in the evening and spend time with his family. Lord Chaitanya also had a beautiful lifestyle. Even though he was a sannyasi, when he was living in Jagannath, he had a wonderful lifestyle. Get up in the morning, go and see Lord Jagannath, chant his rounds, meet Gadadhar Pandit, go to Haridas Thakur's place in Siddha Bakula, go and take bath in the Samudra, in the Bank Ocean, Jagannath Ocean. In this way, he had a very beautiful. So we see all our acharyas, they teach us that they had beautiful, very regulated lifestyles. And now, one of the ways to lead a very beautiful, happy, regulated lifestyle is to understand our needs. We all have, there are two words used. One is needs, other it's wants. Right? So, wearing clothes is a need, but wearing jeans only is a want. Having a house to stay is a need, but wanting a bungalow or a 10 BHK nice house is a want, right? Needing a vehicle to travel to office is a need, but to have a Mercedes is a want, right? So oftentimes we get drawn too much into the want part, but let us understand our needs first. So what type of needs do we have? There are needs on the physical level, on the emotional level, on the social level, and the spiritual level, right? Now this is common to all human beings. And do devotees have physical needs? Yes, devotees. Yes. Brahmasmi. We are spirit soul, right? So do we have physical needs?
We don't. We need.
We need? Right. So today we're going to see how to lead a balanced lifestyle whereby we can fulfill all these needs to the optimum amount without getting too much drawn by one thing or the other. Yesterday we gave an example of balanced diet, right? And why is so much obesity in the world? As far as diet, what is wrong with the diet of people? They're eating what type of food mostly? Junk food, carbohydrate food, right? High corn fructose syrup, right? So these are all food habits which have made people one of the biggest problems in the world is. So earlier in the flights, they say now I think I've also seen that the flight seats have to be made bigger because people who are not able to fit into that because of the shape of their middle part of the body is so large that they can't fit into that. So then all you have to take open that middle one and you have to take 2 tickets, which is not economical. Because the guy was, if somebody is sitting on the other side, the guy's poor fellow is like a squeeze, So that clearly indicates a very horrible lifestyle. You don't need to, you don't need science for that. You can see it is a horrible lifestyle. It's related to some sort of a hormonal defect or whatever. Right? So we are going to take a little bit of survey today.
Want to do that when everybody's
You are you expecting some of our friends to come? Or they are all still.
Siddhanta. We can talk of Siddhanta. Question and answer. They are going to come, then we'll do the question and answer later.
I don't think so. Like, let me.
No, it's okay, bro.
Yeah, we can start. I will just.
Yeah.
We'll do that later. That's
Huh?
question and answer. So first we wanted to give a definition of what is balance. Biggest question among Grihasthas is that how to balance our life, our professional life, our spiritual life, our family life, our economic life, everything, social life, everything goes for a toss. So it's a really art of how to balance is the biggest secret of happiness. You agree to that? Why do we need balance? Why do we need balance?
We don't fall down.
Very good. So that we don't fall down. What else?
That's true.
What else?
The word fall down is what many.
To maintain peace.
Then peace.
Stay
To
healthy.
grow.
Huh? To stay healthy.
Just stay.
To grow. Exactly. To increase our productivity. If we have to be productive in life,
Potential.
we all have potential in us, which is hidden potential. So if we want to be more productive and do everything, right? Then unless we maintain balance, what will happen? We will fall down. Rightly Prabhuji said. To make us a more rounded personality. We cannot just be one type of person. This person तो ये बस ये एक ही इंद्री का ज्ञान है. They cannot do too many things. Multitasking नहीं कर सकते, right? But in today's day and age, can you afford to do only one thing? Everybody has to be a multitasker. If you are not, you are unproductive and you are not successful person. You need to be balanced to be happy, right? To be happy, to maintain our mental peace. These are the different reasons why we need to balance. That is why the definition is given is when you feel a calm sense of equilibrium between all aspects of your life, then your life is in balance. I repeat. When you feel a calm sense of equilibrium, that means everything is at peace. There is no clash. There is no clash. Between whatever you are doing, there is no clash. Right? You are quite peaceful. That is balance. You are at ease with whatever you do. When you are eating, you are at ease. Your health, you are at ease, quite reasonably healthy. Your relationships in your family, they are quite at ease. Nobody is stressed out, nobody is complaining. That is balance. When your work is also comfortably done, without getting stressed out, pulling your hair apart and all, that is balance, right? So when all those things are there, you are happy in all fronts and you are at ease. This word ease is very important. You are not hyper about everything. This is also left, that is also left. Then that means our life is imbalanced. At the end of this session, we will be giving you a questionnaire for you to judge for yourself that what is your level of balance in your life, right? So there are, obviously, is it easy to be balanced? Okay, we understood now everything has to be there. Is it easy? Not easy. If it was easy, then we would not have to discuss about it. Then what is the reason for imbalance? Several causes are there, right? Why we play several roles in our life. Don't we play? How many roles we play? Life is a drama, Shakespeare said. And we have to play several roles in that drama. Sometimes you have to be a parent. Sometimes you have to be the child. You are a parent to somebody, but you are still a daughter or a son of somebody. You can't forget that, isn't it? Plus you are a professional also. Plus you are a disciple. Aren't you? You are a friend also to somebody. You are whatever, you are a boss to somebody. Anything, So many roles which we are playing in our life. So many hats you have to wear. Naturally, you are going to go off balance. If I have to just do one thing, then I can remain balanced. But in today's day and age, that is impossible to do. That is why you have to understand the nitty-gritties of balance. So we will be talking about 4 things today in balance. First is awareness. Awareness of, why I need to get balance. Second is areas of responsibilities. Third we will talk about is the DKP principle. What is DKP? Desh Kal Patra. Okay. We'll talk about the DKP principle. Then we'll talk about evaluating it. How do we evaluate ourselves? And last thing which we will talk about is the practical tips of, is there anything which we can do on a practical level instead of just talking? We can talk so many things, but okay, I understood I am imbalanced or I am balanced now. Now what should I do? Tell me that, right? So is it practically applicable?
Are you getting connect with the relevancy of the topic?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it relevant to all of us? Yes. People are more nodding their heads, so hopefully.
So the first thing which we will take is the awareness. Unless you are aware you are imbalanced, why will you try to get balance? Right? If a patient doesn't feel sick, so will you go to the doctor? I'm fine, till one day you just crash. You don't even realize that when the thing became so bad that I should have gone to the doctor. When first few symptoms are there, you take help and you go to the doctor. You don't go. You do anything in life. When we do anything in life, firstly we have to become aware that I am doing anything in life to mainly become happy. And if I am not being happy and peaceful, that means that awareness signal should, the alarm should ring that, oh, I am not in balance. So firstly we need that awareness, which is very, very important. Now what are the things which make us happy? Mainly for women, what makes us happy? Relationships. If relationships are okay, we are happy. And for men, it is more things, right? Achievement. If they have more things, that makes them happy, right? So we have to understand that on one level there is things, on one level there is relationship. But again, if these things are not taken care of, then we understand that what is the power of happiness and unhappiness. What happens if you are unhappy? If you as an individual are unhappy, what happens? Depression, frustration, anger, stress, anxiety, loneliness. Wow. What else happens?
It impacts the whole family and gradually the surrounding.
Everybody around us gets impacted, right? The day I am unhappy, everybody around me is unhappy.
Especially the wife.
Wife, children, you will unnecessarily land up snapping on anybody, whether it's the bhai or the bhai or whoever, It has to come out, right? What is inside will come outside. If I am unhappy, everybody around me will be unhappy. If I am happy, everybody around me will be
Happy.
as simple as that. You must have experienced that, isn't it? The day I am in a bad mood, everything looks horrible. But if I am in a good mood, even horrible things appear good. Wow, it's okay. So what? Right? So, what a big responsibility we have to be happy in our life. One time our spiritual master asked, are you happy? So I said, yes, Maharaj, I am happy. So he said, thank you. Thank you for being happy. Right? It's not a very, we may talk about it, happy, but we must learn to be happy. Why? Because do you know the power of a happy devotee? What is the power of a happy devotee? A happy devotee is the biggest preacher. Did you know that? You can give 50,000 lectures and then you are not happy. Then people will say, "Arey, bolte kuch hai, karte kuch hai." They don't appear happy. He is speaking like this, she is speaking like this, but family members are not happy. Children are not happy. Relatives are not happy. The job is not good.
They will be the bad example.
Bad example. Why? Because actions speak louder than words. So our biggest seva in life is to be happy. Whether as devotees, so definitely, but even if we are not devotees, our seva is to be happy towards even our family. Because that's the best thing you can do. If the child is there and you are always, take your dabba and go, do this homework. But they will feel there is no happiness, where is the pleasure of family life? So please do not underestimate the power of a happy person. It's a very, very deep thing. You can, if you have time, whenever you have time, make a table, tabulate the things. Happy person versus unhappy person. And you yourself will be surprised at the number of points that will come out. Right? So if we understand the importance of being happy and how an imbalanced life can make us unhappy and everybody around us unhappy, then you will automatically try to come back to balance if my life is not balanced. But if I am a responsible person, if I am not responsible, life goes on. Who cares, Karte raho, you don't even think about it. So he said step number 1 is to be aware. Aware that my life is in imbalance. Then the next steps will come. So second point is the areas of responsibilities. Right? Now, when do you go off balance? When you have weight. If you are walking without anything, you are able to walk straight. But as soon as you are carrying weight, and suppose you are shopping and you have 4-5 bags and
Luggages.
when our weight increases, then you go off balance, right? That means what? Weight doesn't mean actual weight like that. But weight means the weight of responsibilities. When we were kids like this, was there a chance to go off balance? What is the responsibility? Nahi hai to kya off balance? We are walking, life is going on straight. As kids, we are just busy playing, there is no responsibility. Right? It's a carefree life. When we become teenager, then some weight comes because you have to study. Studies is a weight, right? So life starts going little bit, khane peene ka goes here and there. Some things, health goes little for a toss because you're staying awake, studying hard and all. So little bit of weight you have taken on. Then you become an adult. You take up a job. More chances of imbalance, right? More life goes on in imbalance because you took up one more weight. When you get married, more weight. So many things come. That means responsibilities is equal to weight, directly proportionate. And weight puts us off balance. Weight will put us off balance. So when we are new devotees, we don't have much responsibility. You are coming, attending program, listening, having prasad, going away. Where is the question of going imbalance? Any question? Not so much of it. But then you start committing yourself. I take on this responsibility. I will take on that responsibility, and the weight increases. Then you start feeling the pressure. Then you become a leader. You come in leadership position. Or more responsibilities come on you. That means more chances of going off balance, right? So if you just see that in material life, what are the different things you have to do? Food, health, home, domestic, family time, sleep, profession, traveling. These are the different weights that are there. And spiritual, chanting, reading, hearing, deity worship, association, right? All these things are responsibilities which we have. And when both the responsibilities are there, we have to become expert. As we mentioned last time, in this world, there are some people. You've been to a circus? How many of you have been to circus? The best show in a circus is of a juggler. People like, 10 balls, up and down. They are trying to juggle, right? So some places they say there are jugglers, then there are some smugglers. But what are devotees? Strugglers. We are strugglers, right? We are struggling all the time. But struggling is good because struggle means you are alive. Dead body struggles?
No.
So if you are not struggling, that means you are dead. So struggle is not bad. Struggle is good. Struggle is good. However, if you don't struggle in the right direction, then your struggle is useless, right? So we have to understand that unless I focus on the right things, my struggle will be a waste and I won't be able to juggle so many balls because there are several areas of my responsibilities in life. And can you give up any of the responsibilities? Can you? You can't. Once you take on, there is no giving up. Once I'm married, I cannot give up that responsibility. If I've taken a job, I cannot give up that responsibility. If I've committed myself to Krishna consciousness, if I give up my responsibility to God, then is it good? That's a sign of an irresponsible person. Oh, he's a very irresponsible person. She's very irresponsible. Yes, she's a very responsible person. He's a very responsible. Because एक बार जो commitment लिया, they will not give it up. Somehow or the other, they will be able to manage it. So that is what we are trying to do. That when we focus on what we have to do, then somehow or the other you will be able to balance it. Even though it's like cycling, na? You don't always cycle right. You have to sometimes this side, sometimes that side, and then it goes ahead. It's not always going to be a straight road to do, right? So if we are not cycling, we are in the same place. But I am moving forward towards a goal in life. I have a goal. I have to go towards there. So I keep on cycling. Even though sometimes I go here, sometimes I go there. So it is like what? It is like a river. There is a verse in the Bhagavatam which it describes the glories of Mother Ganga. If you would like, we can repeat it once. Repeat after me. Tvai me ananya vishaya matirmade patusakrit ratim udvahatadada gange vogam udhanvati. Means that, oh my Lord, just like the Ganga flows towards you without cessation, let my devotion towards you flow without any cessation. Right? So what is it trying to say? That our life is the flow of the Ganga straight? No. While she is going, what is her goal? The ocean. She is going towards the ocean. Right from Himalaya, she is going there. But on the way, there are going to be so many obstacles means challenges. So getting off balance is a challenge, right? All these are challenges that come in our life. But do we get bogged down by our challenge? Do we give in to our challenge? No, we go around it. We go over it. We go under it. But we will not stop doing our things. Right? And that's the way to balance. Balance is not just that everything will be straight. But by doing this maneuvering, but we still keep on steadily moving towards our goal. That is the balance we are talking. We are not talking of hypothetical equilibrium. That is not possible in today's day and age. It's not going to happen. Sometimes I have to adjust here, sometimes this. But that's the way you balance. You've seen tightrope walkers. How do they walk? They will not fall. But it's not that they always walk straight. Not possible. It's going to be like this only. So it's the art of balancing which they learn, which makes them win the game of life. Right? So second thing is what? Understanding your areas of responsibility and maneuvering life in such a way so that you do not fall down. That's what she said.
The third principle which we are talking about is called as the Desha, Kala, Patra. Patra, the meaning of this is that whatever we are practicing, we have to keep a sense of being flexible to practice that in different ways, in different situations, keeping the philosophy intact, keeping the tenets intact. But that's per the, for example, the Desh has changed for all of you. You are in which place? You are earlier in? You are in India. Your Desh has now become changed. But your Vesh has not changed. Right? You are still wearing the dress of a. So your character has not changed. Your value has not changed. But the Desh has changed. But you have adapted to live in America while keeping your Vedic roots intact. Barabar? So in one sense, your Desh has changed, but you are flexible. Those who are unfortunately, some people who come here, they are not able to accommodate, they get influenced by it, and they become Americanized. Right? But you have adapted perfectly to live in a foreign environment which is not conducive to Krishna Bhakti, where there is so much going on outside, right? Where there is so much immoral activity going on, sense gratification going on, wild hedonistic activities going on, right? And yet you have adapted perfectly to stay here like a lotus flower, being in the environment of America, but living a life of a Vaishnava, Vaishnavi. You agree? Right? So this is your success, this is your glory, and this is wonderful, right? So when Prabhupada was there in America, in India, and he was planning to come to India, so he was preparing visa, passport, P form, various things. So some of his friends was, Swamiji, you have to learn to eat with fork and knife. You go to America, no, you can't eat with finger, right? So they were trying to make him adapted to live a life like an American. Prabhupada said, I am going to America not to take anything from them. I am going to America to give them. Right? Prabhupada was never, you remember Prabhupada eating with fork and knife? Prabhupada, even he was here, he would get up in the morning, go for a morning walk, etc. Right? And lived perfectly like a Vaishnava, wearing dhoti, never wore a pant, right? Wearing dhoti, wearing his kurta, Sudama cap, not in the cold American walk, he will also walk and go with the stick, right? So the power to adapt to different desha and kala, right? For example, here in the desh kala, the kala has changed. There are different, Satyuga was different, the Dwapar Yuga was different, Treta Yuga was different, and we are in Kali Yuga, right? But somehow we have in this age where everything is negative. Kaler dosha nidhe rajan ashti eko mahatruna kirtana deva krishnasya muktasarga param, right? So we are in such a kal where politically things are Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Birthday boy has come. We are so fortunate to be here on today's day. We can't explain how happy. Prabhuji, so
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're talking about adapting to the environment, right? Now, Prabhupada understood, for example, when he came here, generally a Swami never gets involved with marriages because he's practicing the principle of renunciation thoroughly. But within the very first year of Prabhupada coming to America, he got girls and boys married, which is totally against Vedic principle. But it's so that these people are living like boys and girls, girlfriend, boyfriend, this, that, mixing freely with, all sorts of things are going on over here. It's totally un-Vedic. So let me get them fixed into a proper ashram. Because there's no ashram for them. Right? So in order to bring them into the Vedic house, they have to put into ashram. There's a brahmachari ashram, there's a grihastha ashram. So let them become involved in some proper ashram which will stabilize them to perform Krishna consciousness nicely. So even though it is not Vedic to get involved in for sannyasi, he played the role of a sannyasi and still got them married. Right? So you can see Prabhupada is not changing the philosophy, but is adapting, because now he was in America. Right? Now, earlier, his spiritual ashrams would not accept so many female disciples. But here, if you took only the men, if what is the female, the man would not come. He said, my girlfriend. So he got even boys and girls both initiated. Now, for example, let's take the example of book distribution. Right? Now, if you were to go in dhoti kurta, Vaishnava dress is what? Dhoti kurta. You stand on the airports and distribute books, people will look at you as strange fellow. Hairless fellow, wearing some bed sheet, is standing there, and he's giving us a book, and Baba, cholo, 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 But they would wear shirt and pant and wig, right? And people would say, what is this going on, right? Prabhupada said, the book should go out by hook or by crook. Jaisa bhi ho, my Guru Maharaj told me, these books have to go, right? And if you hear the scores in the 75, 76 time, in one day, 3,000 big books. In the entire month, around 50,000 books distributed. Some terrific scores would come out, right? And all was done by whom? People who are like living very civilian clothes and going. So Prabhupada knew the art of this Prabhupada. Similarly, we also, as per the situation, we have to mold ourselves what is necessary we should be doing, without compromising our basic principle of Krishna consciousness. We should not compromise. Eating prasadam. Well, what I do now, I went there and now there was only what to do, It was only meat diet available, so I thought let me eat meat. Or, no kandarasam not available, let me eat some kandarasam, right? Right, so we remain fixed in our vows. We have taken some vows, right? We remain fixed in our vows, fixed in our principles. We don't compromise, right? So when to adapt and change, when to keep ourselves rigid, the main principle should not change, but other thing we can change. So this is called as a principle of Desha, Kala and Patra. Correct? Okay. Yeah. So
Is that questions?
So, when we, as Vishakha said before, first is the awareness section. When we become aware, we start evaluating which are the areas in my life which are making me go into imbalance. We should know that, right? What is being neglected? For example, if somebody is not sleeping properly, right? If someone is getting a headache, right? Then you say, why am I getting a headache? Why am I getting a headache? He understands. Oh, because my sleep in the night was not proper. A bad sleep in the night led to headaches, right? So based on symptoms, he will do. So time to time we have to understand that we need to evaluate our life. Because sometimes life just goes. Like today we're sitting and talking about lifestyle, right? We are sober mind thinking. Other life is what is just when you came to America, we left for us 30 years, probably life is time is what is that? Time is flying. Time is flying. But we need to take a halt and periodically do introspection. See, my dear devotees, a very important part of Krishna consciousness is constantly reevaluating your life, right? Without just allowing to just go out of hand. If you don't evaluate, things will just slip off. And before you realize it has gone too far, then how to really retrace your steps back? Sometimes some irreversible damage may take place. Sometimes the health may go so bad because you have neglected your health, for example, right? You should have taken some active steps to keep your health okay. You neglect it, neglect, and neglect leads to some terrible outcome. You neglect family life, imagine what will happen, right? I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm doing something, neglecting something, right? So when you neglect, so there is no, in Krishna consciousness, there is nothing like neglect. There cannot be neglect, right? But for not neglecting, you have to evaluate. Otherwise, something will get neglected. Simple thing, you don't brush your teeth, your teeth starts decaying. Can you neglect? No. So nothing in life can be neglected. For a devotee, everything is equally important, right? So now, we are going to do a little bit of survey here.
Everybody has a mobile, right? Please take out your mobile.
Take
You
out
have
your
to
mobile.
mark yourself.
So this is to evaluate your status of how much you are in a state of.
We are giving you a questionnaire. You answer the question and then we'll talk about what it is.
Correct.
So we'll make a statement, and for every statement, if you feel that statement is true in your life, give 1 mark. If you feel it's not true, don't give any marks. Is that understood? We'll make a statement. So you see the first one, then you will understand. If the statement made by us is true,
It
give
applies
1.
to you. It's true.
It's true in your life.
ऐसा हो रहा है.
In your life, specifically, then give 1 mark. If it's not true in your life, not relevant, then don't give any marking.
ठीक है?
Everybody has a. Prabhuji?
Record.
So whatever we have
Paper
discussed,
pen?
बोलते ना दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा. We will get to immediately where do we stand as far as this balancing situation. Okay?
आप उसमें नोटबुक मुझे दे दीजिए. अच्छा.
Ready?
Yeah.
Question
Yeah,
number
okay.
1.
Question number 1. I don't read scripture on a daily basis.
If
I
it is
don't
true, give 1
read
mark.
scripture, not newspaper.
I don't or write it.
I don't read scripture on a daily basis.
It's
If
not
it is true,
1 or 0 for false.
False.
false, don't give any marks.
Okay.
If you are reading every day, you can write 1.
Okay.
I usually end.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. I usually.
So the question is, if you are reading,
Then don't give any marks. The statement is not true to you.
If you're
Right?
reading, then you get
0.
it will be
Zero.
0.
It's not true that you are not reading.
You are reading.
So that means 0.
If you're not reading, you give 1.
The-
If you're
Basically,
reading,
if
you
it
give
applies to you, you give 1 mark. Say,
Yeah.
I don't read, so 1 mark.
yes.
And don't read. If the statement is applicable to you, give 1 mark.
1, 0, 0.
If you read 0.
Yeah, otherwise give 0 marks.
Reading or listening can be considered.
Reading.
Reading.
No, reading.
Question is,
Swadhyay.
within no excuse.
So, don't interpret the question. Swadhyay means Swadhyay. Okay. Okay. Second question लेंगे. I usually end each day the huge list of things left yet to be done.
Repeat.
I usually end each day with a huge list of things still left to be done. The things are still undone and they were not finished for some reason. It happens.
If it is true, give 1 mark.
If it is false, then let me know. I want to take tuition from you.
Okay? Done?
ठीक है?
Third.
Everyone answered. If there's not answered, say just we'll take time to think. I don't think they take time to think.
No problem. Yeah.
Something you immediately know.
Yeah.
Yes.
The questions are very easy because their answers are right there in your mind, right?
अंदर से आवाज आता है.
अंदर आ जाता है. Third question. I feel uncomfortable and uneasy when I have time off and no pressing responsibility. I feel uncomfortable and uneasy when I have time off and have no pressing responsibility.
There's nothing to do basically.
कुछ नहीं करना.
And I'm uncomfortable about it.
क्या करूँ क्या करूँ?
Which you don't have anything to do and you feel uncomfortable, that restless. That
कुछ तो करना है.
कुछ तो करना है.
Restlessness.
How can I be like this? How can I be doing without doing it? Nothing.
Okay. Fourth.
Fourth one. I regularly have a huge backlog of emails, people to contact, messages to answer. This is a little more specific for people who are working. You know? The previous might be more for women, for men also. But this is more for people who are working in jobs. I have a huge backlog of emails, people to contact. This applies to ladies also, of course. To contact, messages to answer. WhatsApp में so many things are there. Okay, everyone's answering. Fifth question. Mataji, आपके पास मोबाइल नहीं है? You're answering?
Yeah.
She's answering for you.
She's doing.
How would she know how to answer? I feel a lot of my energy is taken up by my work and career, leaving little energy for anything else.
So can you repeat this? Sorry.
Repeat.
I feel a lot of my energy is taken up by my work and my career, leaving little energy for anything else.
This is specific to work problem, right? Answer any kind of
They
work.
work-
Household work big or this work?
Any work.
Any work, right?
Any work.
Okay.
Next. Question number?
Question number 6. I fear my spiritual practices are mechanical. I fear that my spiritual practices are very mechanical. Seventh question. I consciously avoid spending time with others because I have too many things to do.
Can you please repeat?
I'll repeat again. I consciously avoid spending time with others because I have too many things to do. Understand, na? Question. Eighth question. When there is an emergency in my life, I am not able to accommodate it. When there is an emergency in my life, I am not able to accommodate.
Accommodate in the sense not able to
And
fix
adapt
it.
to it, respond properly to it, face it.
Sometimes, I mean,
Half marks.
yeah.
This is usually what is there.
Yeah, by and large.
1 or 0 only, no half.
by and large समझते हैं ना, by and large वैसा शब्द होता है. Ninth question. I rarely reflect, introspect, scrutinize my life's direction. Ninth question आपने ले लिया, right? We go to the 10th one. I do not have control over how I land up spending my money. खर्चा हो जाता है लेकिन समस्या निकाल गया ऐसा. इधर के उधर है मालूम नहीं पड़ा.
All Prabhuji will have one Prabhu.
And the cause will be them in interest.
11th question is, I find it hard to sleep or often have disturbed sleep. Getting into sleep, I find it hard to get into sleep. And even if I sleep, it is disturbed sleep.
Okay?
12th question. I have lost a friendship over anger or failing to respect other person. I have lost friendship or friendships, could be anything, due to anger or failing to respect that person. 13th question. I rarely think about Krishna or consciously pray to him. The word consciously pray is very important. Fourteenth. When friends meet me, I rarely have time to sit and chat with them.
When friends meet me, I rarely have time to sit and chat with them.
But friends are not coming for chat.
No chat.
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 Not chant.
He's a pure devotee. He also thinks of chanting.
Chat.
Only people like me can understand chat.
Even chant.
Prabhu is saying chant.
Chat. Are you from Chapati? No. Chapati, all of devotee.
Got it? I rarely have time to chat if my friends come. Number?
Number 15 now. I think I fight and complain more than being grateful and positive. I think I fight and complain more than being grateful and positive. So one side is different positive, other is this negative.
No, with
emotion.
family or outside family?
Anybody.
Anyway.
I was about to ask you a same question.
Number 16. I have health issues related to stress, anxiety, and irregular habits. I have health issues related to stress, anxiety, and irregular habits. Seventeenth question is, I have not taken a holiday in the last 1 year.
Prabhuji, being a housewife, there is not even a single holiday. Even if you go for vacation, you don't have a proper holiday. So then what should we count?
Vacation is not a holiday? You cook there?
No,
You clean there?
No,
Now,
because
Amit Prabhu
here-
has to certify.
No, because here we don't get prasad without onion and garlic. So we take, the rice cooker or the masala. So we are working there as well. So for this question, now what should I?
But
So
we
if
are
you-
at least taking a
Did you
vacation.
feel like a vacation or not? If you feel like a vacation, whether you keep khichdi or not. If you felt like a vacation, chalo vacation, chalo take some relaxation.
Amit Prabhu,
something.
next time खाना बनाओ.
Yeah.
Or go to cruise trip.
नहीं, हम लोग
You felt like a holiday,
क्रूज पे भी राइस कुकर लेके जाते हैं.
or you did not feel like a holiday. You did not feel like a holiday only. You did feel. Now 18th question is very relevant like that. My partner often complains that I don't have enough time for them.
If they want time,
My partner complains
तो इसको 1 देना है 10 देना है.
100.
My partner often complains that I don't have enough time for them.
सब लोग ने 1 दिया.
19th question.
Prabhuji, there are few students here. They came to 0.
Yeah, they will.
19th question. I don't have time to spend on exploring, learning things that I am interested in. I don't have time to spend on exploring and learning things that I am interested in. Last question, 20th question. Most of my interactions with people are just about getting things done. Family, friends, devotees, whatever interactions we have, most of my interactions are with people of any category are just about getting things done.
Okay?
These questions have been made with a lot of deep thinking to truly address the needs of our devotees.
Now you make a grand total.
I'll repeat the question again. Most of my interactions with people are just about getting things done.
चलो काम हो गया फिर भूलिए just like that, right?
No, not like that. Means
Work oriented.
I'm trying to get something done and हो गया फिर नरेंद्र प्रभु से मैं कुछ बात नहीं
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ
फिर नेक्स्ट टाइम काम आएगा तो मैं अपन
वही पूछा
it can be at home also like that. Na? You are only talking about the here and now things. Oh, टैफिल लिया क्या, पैसा भरा क्या, गैस बंद किया क्या, दूध गर्म किया क्या, like that, you know? कार साफ किया क्या, just talking about.
अभी वही बातें होती हैं, देख के काम नहीं आता।
Okay, so make a total of it. First make a total. किया?
We don't need to discussion mode नहीं करना है खाली. Discussion तो घंटे तक चल सकता है.
Okay? Done? Everybody total?
but we didn't note down the questions, only we put the
Yeah,
scores.
that's okay.
Bro, you too recording the
So, how many of you all got 0 to 7 marks?
1, 2, 3.
No, I mean
0 to 7.
Whose grand total was 0 to 7?
1,
Mine is more than 7.
3, 4.
Great. How many of you all had marks from 8 to 14? Great. And how many of you all got from 14 to 20?
कोई नहीं
Right? Very
कोई नहीं
amazing. So 14 to 0 to 7 was okay. Great, life is in good balance. Give them a big hand. Yeah, raise your hand.
No, they have to stand up. They have to stand up.
Stand.
Oh, श्यामनंद प्रभु वहीं पे खड़े.
0 to 7 में अगर कोई बैचलर है तो काउंट है
But imagine all are men.
वो कम
All
नहीं है.
are men. All men only. But thanks to the wife that it is in balance.
most of them doesn't have wife
Yeah.
नहीं आपको है
8 to 14, if you got that mark, then you need to give attention.
This is going to make you aware that there's a need to really take inventory because things are going slowly but steadily out of your state of balance, right? And very soon you will go, as he said, fall down. Right? And the last one.
And 14 to 20 it is seriously out of balance and needs immediate emergency treatment. Otherwise there will be casualties. So this was this thing of evaluation, right? That because you evaluated, you even came to know. How many times we sit and think of these questions? How many times we think of these questions?
No, never.
But these are serious questions. You should think about them and give more attention.
See,
So we
because-
just end with.
No, I'm saying if you look at the scores, 0 to 7 and 8 to 14, right? So somebody may have got 13. Somebody may have got just 14, right? So if you look at the percentage, this is a very broad evaluation we have done, but if you look a little more microscopically, if after 20 questions, if 14 were positive for you, then it's it's already like a breakdown of the system, right? Though the scoring system है से ठीक है कोई problem नहीं है देखा जाएगा, right? But it's already, I would say that it is something already requires if you're anything about like 11, 12, 13 type जा रहा है, that means more than half of the questions are positive. right? That means you need to take action.
So we'll end with some practical tips.
So, of course, to substantiate our discussion today, we should chant this shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna himself is strongly recommending a life of balance. There is the key word which I have seen in life is there is no happiness in life unless there is balance in life. It cannot be. There cannot be a happy person who is leading an imbalanced life. It's not possible. Right? If he is happy, that means he is reasonably balanced. So, yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmashu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukhaha. दुख नहीं चाहिए, दुखहा मतलब दुख दूर हो जाएगा. Your miseries will go away, far away from you. This is Krishna's Srimukha is spouting out these beautiful words, right? And this sloka obviously is catering to what we talked about today. We talked about it a little more elaborately, but Krishna is talking in a nutshell, because Krishna gives sutras which we have to learn and expand on, right? So if you are having your karma, your swapna, your leisure time, everything in a state of balance, then you can perform yoga in such a way that there will be no miseries for you. You can perform bhakti yoga bhavati dukha. So now let's go more on the practical side, what we can do to make things a little better. So all of you realize how much imbalanced you are. So some things here may be relevant to you, which we can do. What we call action points, right? To reduce this imbalance. First is try not to pack up your day. Too many things, right? The to-do list is so long, there's so much to do on the head, right? Try to stagger it. Okay, I can do these 5 comfortable, I can do these 3 tomorrow. Okay, right? So this way you can be happy doing 5 nicely, otherwise you're doing 10 things unhappily. Second is take prasadam at regular times. Of course, a strong example is of Prabhupada. He all has spoken about him so many times. Even at that age of 80 years, he had prasadam at several times. Very, very important. Now, regular times means that, but if you're eating your dinner every day at 10 o'clock in the night, it's regular, but it's a horrible thing to have, because generally after Suryastha, after the sunset, your Agni starts going down, right? So most people who are wisdom oriented, they start eating food twice a day now. And one is now a good meal at 10 in the morning and one at 6:37 in the evening. And they get hungry in between, they eat some fruit, right? And some nuts early in the morning if they want to have some extra nourishment. So this when people eat this type of food, then the stomach is light, your sleep is good, bowels are clear next day morning, things remain a little bit in balance. Take adequate rest. This is Krishna is saying swapnava bodhasya, swapnava, right? That means the time for sleep, average minimum 6 hours, maximum 8 hours, average 7 hours. And ideal time 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. And compromise time 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Right? But 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., all those things are definitely not only affecting spiritual life, it is our health. We don't want to get into the details of it too much, otherwise I will end up talking like a health professional now. We don't want to get involved too much of that, right? So, but remember sleeping early. And we stress on getting up early for Mangala Arati and Brahma Murta, but getting up early is only possible and sustainable if we
Sleep early.
So your getting up early starts by sleeping early. Otherwise we sleep late, but we somehow struggle to get up in the morning, and then we'll end up breaking our health at some point of time. Learn to relax in a Krishna Krishna conscious way. Any thoughts on how we can relax in a Krishna conscious way?
Listening to kirtan.
Huh?
Listening to.
Listen to nice music and kirtan, right?
Reading Krishna book before sleeping.
Reading Krishna book before sleeping. Prabhupada recommended that, definitely.
Listening lectures.
Huh? Reading lectures. Huh? Lectures, man. If you hear Radhisha Prabhu, you won't feel relaxed. You will feel, oh yeah. So, yeah. But yes, kirtan music is nice. We have been doing some dramas. Prabhu talked about we do dramas. Actually speaking, many devotees, they look at dramas, it's very relaxed.
Krishna conscious way. When we finish this, is there a group, WhatsApp group where everybody is there on?
Yeah.
So we'll forward the link right now to you once we finish this.
Yes.
Please click on it. So that
Whenever
you
you
will
feel
remember
stressed out,
this
you
year.
just put on one of these dramas and guaranteed you'll feel relaxed. Bathe 2 to 3 times in a day to distress. At least 2 times. Some people do it regularly. 3 times is best, right? But 2 times minimum. Perform exercises regularly every day. Now I want to ask this question and take a survey here. How many of you actually perform exercise every day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's walking.
You also? No.
Walking to
Yeah, no, doesn't matter. Everybody is just daily walking, say 3-4 kilometers every
Walking
day.
is an exercise.
Yeah, if you do 10,000 steps per day as per WHO recommendation, great, very nice. It's a regulation. 5 days a week is what WHO recommends, right? 150 minutes per hour per week. So if you're doing that, it is good. It is following the Prabhupada's footsteps absolutely because Prabhupada walk every day. So exercise, without exercise, your body will degenerate biologically very rapidly. As far as research is concerned, there is so much of research on exercise. The only proven, 100% proven remedy for longevity, more than any herb, more than anything else in the world, is exercise. Exercise, people have lived longer and happier and healthier. That is research proof. So I would recommend strongly, dear devotees, do not rest. Sleep exercise is the basic triangle. Triangle is rest, diet and exercise. Periodic outing. Now that periodic should not be every 4 years. Right? Periodic means with the frequency which we feel is necessary to take a break. And in the older ISKCON days, earlier days, older days, ISKCON 70s, 80s, someone talk of going out, Maya. You going out means would be called as Maya, right? But now devotees have matured, they understand that yes, you have to, if the pencil is getting blunt, you have to take it out and spend some time to sharpen it. You can write for a long time. You need to take the time off. Give space. Give space to each other. It's also a part of relaxation. Always monitoring somebody and go pushing somebody, coaxing somebody all the time. Give people their adequate amount of space. Take help. If you find yourself too much stressed out and difficult to manage and not able to organize your life, take help from people who are more organized and more mature and more sorted out. Establish boundaries in your relationships. Right? Because when boundaries are lost and relationships become fuzzled up, that can also get a lot of stress. So in everything you have to create some boundaries. So these are some simple doable tips which we have mentioned to you. There are koshas, there is 5 koshas as per the Taittiriya Upanishad, Taittiriya. right? One is the Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, and Anandamaya Kosh, right? The 5 layers or sheaths covering our souls, right? And therefore, for true happiness and holistic living, and this Upanishad recommends that each of the koshas have to be taken care of. But because we are on the physical level, we are like quite grossly oriented type of people. First thing is, let the body be healthy. A healthy body often will lead to a healthy mind and a healthy spirit. But the body itself is broken. You find yourself that when physical health is broken down, difficult to keep the mind balanced and difficult to practice any spirituality properly, right? So pehla zaruri hai, first thing is keep the body as far as possible in a healthy state of being. Whether it means checkups or supplements or exercise, keep the body as fit as possible. Prabhupada could spread the movement all over the world because he tried his best to keep his body and fit even at that age, and traveling more than practically anybody else has done in the world. 12 times traveling all over the world in 14 times traveling all over the world in 12 years. I don't think anybody did that before. Like a Guinness Book record person he is, and yet he could keep fit till the very end and remain in clear consciousness even on his deathbed, and because he had a very regulated lifestyle. So with this we end today's discussion. Thank you very much, and now we are inviting some questions.
Prabhuji, you said if you have a task list of 10, you can do only 5 happily today. Keep 5 for tomorrow. But that will go into the question that you asked, that you always have a long list of things to respond or tasks to do. One of those questions was that. So the list has actually not ended. It will follow tomorrow. So
we have to find some method of distressing that, right? Because every day cannot be, or maybe you take something on Saturday, Sunday, something. Some mechanism have to be worked out where you decongest yourself. It's a fact. Because the stress of having not completed something, if it mounts up every day, it's lack of fulfillment. You feel underperforming, you may feel various things, right? You may feel various things in your mind that unfulfilled or irresponsible or whatever. So do few things happily. Meetings, so many meetings, okay, you can meet tomorrow, right? So there's some wisdom in how people say, learning to say no. There is some wisdom in that. People who have been successful, people who have always not said yes, ये भी करना है, चलो करते हैं, ये भी करना है, चलो करते हैं. They say, okay, no, not today. Can you meet tomorrow? Right? So that wisdom to say no, not that I don't want to do it, but no means we do it at a more congenial time. So, like as doctor, I could be sitting and doing my practice for 14 hours in a day. And because of my seniority, I will keep getting patients. So, it's not Dr. Dalal available. Dalal sab but I have to understand my life is to be in balance. I work for my 8-9 hours, which is necessary for me to keep myself this thing. But then I say, no sir, आपके appointment हम कल देंगे आपको. If you have a problem, very bad problem, emergency department चले जाइए, ECG निकालो, chest pain है तो देख लो. Maybe you do that before. But if you want to see me, please come tomorrow. Right? So that way that works.
Sometimes you need to clear off your backlogs also by overdoing it. It might be just one day. Too many things are lined up. Just give a weekend to just clear all the backlogs so that you can start afresh. So sometimes that approach also helps. And too many things are, if I just keep postponing, it will keep adding to the next day. Then I just overdo it, finish it off so that then after that at least I'll be relaxed.
I'll let one last question. Can you talk just a little bit more about boundaries in relationship?
Boundaries in relationship is a very important concept today, where we do not, relationship has become such a, delicate thing that at the drop of a hat relationships break. You put in years of effort, years of energy, and it breaks. Boundaries means what? That again, we do not get so entangled and enter into each other's lives so much that we get emotionally vulnerable to every statement made or every behavior done, because none of us is perfect. We might be hurting others and others might be hurting us. So when you understand the particular nature of somebody, you give the benefit of doubt and understand that boundary, that okay, if I go beyond this, I'm going to get hurt. So rather I just keep, it is called as emotional kavach. I keep my emotional kavach. As they say that you cannot be close to everybody. If I try to be a goody-goody, that, oh, I have to be good with everybody and I have to be close with everybody. Is that possible? Always there will be levels of closeness. Some will be very close, some will be little less close, and some will be acquaintance, just hi, hello type of people. Now don't mix up with all that. Keep those boundaries. But if you start feeling that everybody should be my close pal, like I am telling everything to them, they should tell everything to me, then expectations will kill us. So that is, boundaries means don't become vulnerable emotionally. Keep your it is to keep our expectations realistic. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
We have heard about Sthit Prajna in Bhagavad Gita.
Heard about what?
Sthita prajna.
Sthita Prajna.
So the balanced life leads to that state, or it helps.
Yes, definitely. Sthita Prajna. What is the meaning of Sthita in your understanding? What is the meaning of that word?
To be stable, खुशी बहुत जाहिर नहीं करना, दुखी में जब दुख आया है तो बिल्कुल ऐसे दुख में ही नहीं चले जाना.
Definitely. See, when you are performing your spiritual duties and practices properly, right? You have got a lot of inner spiritual strength. Your roots have become deep, right? When a tree is a small sapling, it can be cut off immediately, right? But you have a banyan tree or a big tree, a coconut tree, deep roots, right? And so when things happen in life, like sukha, whatever you're saying, right? Dukha, then the tree can remain very, very strong, right? So there is, for example, there is also example of oak tree and a bamboo tree. The oak tree is supposed to be very strong, but when a big wind comes, it can get uprooted. But there is something called a bamboo tree which bends, and when the storm passes away again, it comes back, right? It doesn't get uprooted, right? So the ability to face challenges, to be able to, bend down to situations and allow it to pass without really getting uprooted. And these things are all possible because life has been balanced. We have the strength to be flexible and not just get uprooted out. It's definitely useful.
Now we have a very important exercise to do. Is that okay? Today is a very, very special day. Like today?
Yeah, today is a very, very special day. It is 1st of April. And it's supposed to be a Fool's Day, April Fool. Right? But we're talking not about a fool, we're talking about a fool. What is a fool? A beautiful flower. Right? So talking about a flower which has been radiant, has been emanating grace, positivity, love and care for last many, many years without withering away. And that beautiful flower is sitting right in front of me. So today we want to really, very happily, very joyfully, with great happiness, express our gratitude to one of our stalwart devotees here, who's been a great, one of beautiful flower in the garden of Cincinnati.
Cherry blossom.
One of the senior most devotees. He is not only senior in age, as you can see, but senior in wisdom, senior in Krishna consciousness, and anybody who has interacted with him closely knows what a loving, caring, like when Prabhupada said the word, we was asked, how do you know who's a devotee of yours? What was Prabhupada answer? So how many of you agree that Vijay Prabhu is a perfect gentleman? Say Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
I can't deny whatever you say.
Prabhuji. So,
From this side. Sit. Huh? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's Hari Bol for Vijay Prabhuji. Hari Bol! So as Prabhuji was saying, right, how Vijay Prabhuji is so humble, never hurted anyone. We saw how he was cutting the cake. He never wanted to hurt the cake also, right? So yes, like I have been knowing Prabhuji since I moved here in Cincinnati, 2012. So I got to know Prabhuji in 2014. And I got to know that he is president of ISKCON Cincinnati. So being from Mumbai, if somebody has that, the leadership, president, so we know how how egoistic person sometimes become, right? So I had that in mind. But since then, up till now, you know what I have seen him as Vijay Prabhuji, being a president, if I say, Prabhuji, I need this permit for this festival, he will go personally, he will not ask anybody else. He will go and make sure that we get the permit, and he will say, come on, Krishna Prabhu, we got the permit, here is the permit, you do whatever you want to do. So, anything, if I want to do anything, for, you know, or anybody in the community wants to do anything, if you go to him, he will say, if you are happy, go ahead and do it, I am with you, you tell me what I have to do. Like this. So that kind of president and that kind of person he is. Always supporting the whole congregation. Let's say Hari Bol loudly for Prabhuji. Hari Bol! Anybody else would like to glorify Prabhuji?
एक्चुअली जब से कृष्णा कॉन्शियस मैंने ज्वाइन किया है तब से मैंने प्रभु जी को ऑब्जर्व किया है एंड ही इज लाइक आई मीन कोई देखेगा तो पता नहीं चलेगा इज अ प्रेसिडेंट बिकॉज माता जी आपने खा लिया, प्रभु जी आपने खा लिया, और सबसे लास्ट में वो अपना प्लेट लेके बैठते हैं। मैंने कहा प्रभु जी पहले आप खाओ मैं हमेशा बोलती थी माता जी मुझे कोई खाई नहीं है, आप लोग खाओ तो मुझे वो क्वालिटी ऐसे लगती थी कि पहले ही इज सो केयरिंग कि पहले अपने से पहले वो दूसरे को प्रायोरिटी देंगे और पहले दूसरे को समझेंगे कि कोई भी नया आएगा तो उसको वेलकम करना। जैसे एक फादर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या होती है घर में, सबका ध्यान देना, तो वैसे कोई भी नया मेंबर भी आता था उसको अपनाना। ओ यू केम फर्स्ट टाइम, तो ऐसे बात करें जैसे उनको बहुत सालों से जानते हैं। तो दिस इज द बेस्ट क्वालिटी, वो वेलकम फील करेंगे और उनको लगेगा यार देयर इज समवन टू टेक केयर अबाउट अस। सो दिस इज द बेस्ट क्वालिटी आई फाउंड इन हिम। थैंक यू प्रभु जी, थैंक यू फॉर एवरीथिंग।
Actually, we did not know Prabhuji for so many years, and we felt very unfortunate that why we didn't know him for so many years. Since we started coming to the US, we got to know him, and first time we didn't know that he's president of Cincinnati Temple or anything. He just came to pick us up to take us from, I think, Pittsburgh to Columbus.
New Vrindavan, I think, right?
No, Pittsburgh to Columbus, and we were talking, and I know his niece. She's from, in India we knew her, but we did not know the connection. And the first time we met, we felt such fatherly feelings from him towards us that we felt he's like a rasgulla, means sweet from every side, that whichever aspect you will, go into is only going to exude sweetness. So much affection he gave us, so much affection that when we went back, we visited 14 cities. We visit 14 cities in a month. The first time after meeting him, our meeting him became the highlight of that visit. We met 72 families, but Prabhuji's affection and love created such a dent in our heart and such a memory that he's such a senior person, he's so close to Maharaj and still so approachable, so sweet, so loving, so humble. And this time he still more clean bowled us. Every time we meet, he clean bowls still more. He came for Yatra this year, and you should have seen him. He was doing the most menial services, picking up pattals, and we had the cooking seva, so cleaning the chulas that were so many of on the cooking day, and everything. We said, Prabhuji, please, the younger people will do. He was the youngest person available. He's ageless, looks like that. So we don't know how to thank you for your silent inspiration, Prabhuji. He doesn't speak so much, but his actions are so endearing and speaking volumes of philosophy, which reading whole Bhagavatam, CC, this thing cannot beat it. So really grateful for your example and blessings. Please keep your blessings on all of us, that we may always remain under shelter of Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj.
So today we have this congregation, and some of them who are not here, but we have a growing congregation. Especially the last few years, we have been growing in numbers and quantity and quality. But we can never forget that the preaching has started in Cincinnati. The seed of Krishna consciousness in Cincinnati began from his own very home. Am I right? Am I right or not?
Am I right or am I right?
Prabhuji is becoming emotional.
Right? When His Holiness Radha Maharaj began the preaching, college preaching, it was somehow they became friends, and then Maharaj started staying in his house, and how he has been instrumental in assisting Maharaj to, make college preaching happen. While there's a big building here, that building is not there now.
Yeah, right.
Can you share some memories of that time with us? Preaching in Cincinnati.
Preaching in Cincinnati started in 80s. So I had just come from England. I was going to the temple in England, and when I came here, I went to New Vrindavan. In those days when you go there, you have to write your address and phone number and everything. So I did write. And after a few weeks, I get a phone call from Shrutadev.
From?
He was Shrutadev. May you be remember, he's in San Francisco now. But he was the manager, first manager. He came with Maharaj. And he called, he said, we want to come to Cincinnati. So they must have seen my number there. And I didn't have any contact at that time. So like my nature, I said, koi nahi aaja. But I was staying with my brother. So I was getting guest myself. And I'm inviting the guests to come. So they came, and Maharaj and Shrutadev said that they want to start a temple here, and we started looking for the temple. And in those days, I didn't know the importance of having the temple. they said we want to look for a place near the university. So many of you are the students, you may know Macmillan Street, which is right by the university. And I think there is a gas station, Shell gas station still there, but otherwise that was a place on Macmillan Street. We were very successful, and Maharaj was so like a magnet. People will just come, students on the weekends. That's when the class was. And it will overflow. People will be sitting on the sidewalk. 200 people, 150 people in those days. And so it was very successful, but unfortunately, there was another restaurant there, the pizza place, and they were even more successful than us, right? So they had the wooden pizza. You know, normally they do in the ovens, they had the wood for the making the pizzas. So they were very popular. So they approached the landlord that we want to expand. For that, the city says that we should have more parking. So of course, I mean, we were just a temple, and they were paying much more rent than us. So the landlord said to us, "Let you go." So then we had to leave. But the life was so, should I say, simple, not simple, but very tough. Anyway, the temple was here. On the other side was a bar. Right? And when we finished the temple 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the bar opens. Right? That's when the bar is really up.
Nightlife.
So then there was no air conditioning. You can imagine the struggle of the devotees. There was no air conditioning. It was hot in the summers. If they closed the windows, it would be hot. If they opened the windows, there's a music on the other side. So they couldn't, sleeping was very problem. But it was those good days. It was a Sharma family, and there was a Patel, and there was a Dr. Bhardwaj, and maybe 2-3 more people. There were like 4 or 5 families. So we were just like, everybody was pitching, and I have 5 brothers, so all of them will come. Their wives, and these were the kind of people. And total, I think, good kitchen, we were doing the cooking, and Maharaj was part of the cooking team. So in those days. And so there was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was Swami at that time.
Yeah, 86.
Okay, but anyway, I think when he came, at that time he was...
Which year are you talking about?
Hmm?
What is the year? What year roughly?
It would be before that, 86.
82 he took sannyas.
Okay. Well, anyway, maybe, but he did not behave like a sannyasi. And he was just down to earth. With us, cooking the kitchen and everything else. And so we had that, very successful. But then we had to move from that place to Euclid, which is by the students below. There's a wine street. There's a little wine where the Kroger is. And the BP gas station also there. So then we moved in that area. That was more neighborhood. So we were not that successful there. So by that time Maharaj has left, and Chandramani Maharaj was the one who took over.
Yes.
And so it did not, we struggled for 6 months or a year, then we quit. But in between, when we were there on Macmillan, we were very, very successful. People will come. I remember there was 2 guys, and they used to play music, not music, they were just collecting money, tum-tum, and they were 2, and they were vegan. And they had logs, and they would argue with Maharaj. Why do you drink, why do you use milk? Why do you do butter because they were the vegan, they don't do that. So they will argue with them and Maharaj will happily talk to them. And then there was the one guy, he was not a hippie guy, he was a young guy, Steve, I think his name was Steve or something. And he had people put in his hair, you know how they put up
The matted head.
huh?
The matted head.
Yeah, things in his head. And he was just rough. Like rough, you can say. And eventually he became a rabbi. Yes, he came to the temple and he would come for basically just for a prasadam. But then he became so into it, spiritual, and he became a Jew. He was a Jewish family. Then he became a rabbi. And by going through the Hare Krishnas. So we had that many people, and one of the guys was a Jew himself, and he was very polite, very nice guy, and he would ask him very sensible questions. There were those kind of people also. But it was really, and there was one, Mataji was, her name was Priscilla. And she was very much into Hare Krishna. And then she would ask questions to Maharaj. And she was very forceful. She worked for the post office. And I remember the people didn't get along with her. So Maharaj would say, okay, don't worry. She's okay. So there were so many people there, and he was there for a year or two. Then he started traveling. And when he started traveling, then the attraction was not there. And then the numbers dropped. And that's when also the pizza place asked us to move. But those were really, I should say, golden days for Cincinnati. And many people came, all backgrounds, blacks, Jews, and Spanish. And there was, Barbara was one. And she had a cancer, but she was so much into Maharaj. She was so much into helping us. So there were so many people that who were very, because we had that place going, because of them. And this is the history of
initial days.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. You came on your birthday, your family must be feeling why we dragged you here. They must be waiting for you.
No, I told them that I'm going there.
Okay, so as you want to say? Yeah.
I won't take much time.
Please be careful.
Yes, my humble obeisances to you, Prabhuji. Where can I start? Kamal Krishna Prabhu has already mentioned about him. But my journey with Prabhuji has been very fantastic. He's like a father figure to me. I have learned a lot of things, so please forgive me if I have insulted you or hurt you in any ways. But one time Jai Hari Prabhu reached out to him and said, Prabhuji, you have to give class. He immediately calls me and he says, Prabhuji, I cannot give class. Help me. How do I do? What do I need to do? I said, Prabhuji, you are like Sabri. You are all Navda Bhakti you have in you. You don't just have to prepare, you just come and sit. People will just look at you and watch you, and that's enough for the class. So, with that having said, even just today, an example, like Mataji said, it's his birthday and he's still here. We had an emergency meeting, like for a temple meeting, zoning meeting, and he's there. So just like Kamal Krishna Prabhu says, no matter what family function he has, he always stands up, he's always there for us. And I remember we had to do plumbing to get an inspection. It was raining and every week we were getting by plumber telling, we'll come next week, we'll come next week. He's there with me for a couple of weeks. The plumber never shows up. And I said, Prabhuji, I have a meeting, I have to go back to work. He says, don't worry, go, I'll stay here. This is the dedication that he has. And I always say, I'm always learning from him. And one thing that I have to learn from him is patience. And Prabhuji says, don't be too patient like me, otherwise it will not work. But Thank you, Prabhuji. You have been a very inspiring figure for me. So I hope it still continues in that same way and you keep continuing blessing me on that. So and we are very, very lucky at ISKCON Cincinnati to have such a humble president. Having known all the other centers, I can say that from my heart, what lucky as a council we are and as a Cincinnati to have such president like him. Thank you very much again.
So as we promised, as a de-stressor, we are gifting you this beautiful drama. Come on, Krishna, I forwarded you. Did you all get it? Just right now he is forwarding it on the group. Lest you forget. So request is please do watch it and spread it to your other friends, relatives. Whether they are devotees or non-devotees, they will realize the glories of Tulsi Maharani. So please do watch. The drama is on Tulsi Maharani and it's a Gaudiya Vaishnava presentation. In today's day and age where Sanatan Dharma is on a decline, we have to revive these Vedic practices which are it was very natural for us in the days of olden days, but today we do not we are forgetting the importance of this. Remember, one family is there in our Bombay congregation. He said, my children became Krishna conscious. I never told them to chant. I never told them to come to the program. I only told them, as soon as you get up and take a bath, just put 3 drops of water in Tulsi Maharani. And till date, now they are parents. Like the daughter has got 2 children and all. But every day without fail, if nothing else, but she will, before they leave the house, they will water Tulsi Maharani and go. And say today the devotees are initiated devotees, the children. So that is the impact that Tulsi has. So please do watch it. So many links get forwarded. Do not let this go as one of the other links. आपने कर दिया? Cincinnati group पे.
Yes.
Yeah, but फिर आप भूल जाओगे. So you click on it so you remember.
Big screen.
Yeah, big screen. Please watch it on a big TV. You will enjoy it more. So your WhatsApp is not working.
She's not tech savvy.
Not on.
No, the reason is I was in